Alright, here's how to do a Chambers of Xeric. I'm just gonna pre-pot and go right in. Pre-pot Super Combat, pre-pot Extended Anti-Venom, so it'll last all the way to the, whatchamacallit, Lizard Room. Not so fast past me, I'm going to actually explain the inventory setup. So you have Fire Runes, Death Runes, Blood Runes, and Aether Runes, which is a combination of Cosmics and Souls. If you're not using Death Charge, then you can just have Fires, Death, Bloods, and Souls in there, but I occasionally like to use Death Charge, that's why that's there. Watering Can, that's for Ohm. Stamina, that's for Ohm. Book to summon Thralls. Lockpick for the Thieving Room. You need the Pickaxe, obviously, for the Guardian's Room. Let's see. These are essentially your pre-pots. You don't need to pre-pot range because you'll have an overload by the time you're done with Tecton. Angler, just to overheal, and I'll mention it in the clip again, but the anti-venom so that it lasts until the Lizard Room. In the actual inventory, you have these two, that's specifically for Ohm, the Maul is for whenever you need the defense lowered, so Tecton and Ohm. I don't like to use the Bofa, but if I'm able to sort of remove these two from my inventory, it'll save a lot of space, so I might try that sometime, but that's fine. And in my actual equipped gear, you don't really need a melee legs unless, you know, you have a really solid one. I just have Tacit, so I'll just leave it at home. Defender and the Fang. Fang's pretty good against Tecton. Otherwise, you want to bring a Crush Weapon. I camped the Light Bearer. I could bring an Ultor, but I'd probably have to swap out one of these for it, and that gets complicated. And obviously, you want to bring your best boots. I just bring Prims right now because I just didn't have the Avernix. Note the spots I've marked here. Stand here to trigger him. And then you want to stand right here in the back. The further back he is from the anvil, the less his defenses is, I believe. You want to run around him like this, otherwise he's going to smack you. He's going to go back in about 2 more hits. Like so. So basically you want to run around him and ensure that you're not getting smacked by him. Typically 1 attack on each side is good enough for a 5 tick. Probably the same for a 4 tick as well. But yeah, here, stab him again. Stab him here. Stab him here. I'll dodge here, so then I'll stab him here. Spec, because we're not going to use specs for the rest of the floor, really. And then we get our items. Actually, let me pick this up. Overload and Prayer Enhance. Drink the Prayer Enhance. And then on to Crabs. So Crabs, you want to match the light orb with the particular thing. Pray melee at all times, because these guys can kind of hurt. Smash with the Elder Maul. Oh. And try and get these guys, lined up like so. Ideally, you wouldn't have both of them like this, but it somehow works out like so. And so, red to blue, white to black, and then the blue to yellow, and then green to purple here. And this is a full-scale CM raid, but not CM, it's just a full-scale standard raid, so that'll be the same configuration no matter how many times you do this. At least do this full-scale raid. Alright, on to Ice Demon. We'll just deposit a bunch of stuff first. Keep that. You can basically see what's in my inventory, but basically we're just going to be chopping for the next few minutes. This is to increase our point total, so ideally we want 6 piles essentially of 28 kindling. That'll bring our total points up by about 6k, and it's a relatively easy thing to do, and it just nets you more points. So I think it's meta to do it, but in general it's just a pretty easy thing to do for more points, so why not? Alright, and we're done chopping, so let's go ahead and cast Mark of Darkness. Light this up, grab it, light it and fuel it. There we go. There we go, that took like 3 minutes and netted us about like 6.2k points, so overall it's pretty worth it. We cast Mark of Darkness because we're going to be using Dark Demon Bane. You can technically use an Ember Light. I think people used to use Burning Lights, Burning Claws before it got nerfed, but we're just going to do Dark Demon Bane. It's good enough. I mean, you could bring a Purging Staff and just, you know, have it deal a bunch of damage, but eh. And yeah, pray range, move left to right, cast, and you're done. Probably should have overloaded, but that's fine. Next up is Illusionment Shamans. These guys are pretty straightforward. Let me actually... There we go. Got this guy to jump. So if you run over here, and you're on long range with a 10-tile weapon, then he can't hit you. And this guy over here is unlikely to mess with you. So you can just relax. Alright, on to the next one. Hopefully I can get him to jump. Basically, he jumps when you're not next to a wall. So, like here. Oh. I got splashed. That's fine. I think if I run over here, he'll... Yes, get trapped. So there we go. My HP's a bit low, but... Oh, I thought I meant to bring an extra brew, but that's fine. We won't be prepping this raid, so... If we die, we die. Next up is Vanguards, and... that's gonna be tough. But we'll see it through. We'll use our lockpick for the room after. We'll put our pickaxe and we'll put our watering can away because we don't need that right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yeah. Alright. To vanguards. It's pretty complicated, but basically you want to manage the health between all 3 vanguards, hit them with a specific style, or if you have a mega rare, just whack them with a mega rare. And ensure that they don't all get too far from each other in HP. Ideally, you want to be following the range one because you can step under the range one and it'll essentially stay still. Whereas the others, they kind of just follow you like homing missiles. And they are very annoying. And I just reset them. Oh, I didn't. Sweet. That's very fortuitous. So if you do too much damage, you'll reset them, they'll go back to full HP, and that's very annoying because it's a drain on resources and time and just overall mental energy. So, you keep whacking them. You want to make sure you're cognizant of your max hits. So, I know I can do another spec here because my max hit with the spec is around like 51 or so. Bofa max is around like a 41 or 42, or maybe with overload it's like 48. Either way, I know I can continue to follow the ranger here. The melee is going to come over to me, and now that they don't have any HP over them, I can kill them with ease. They're all outside of their range. And kill this guy. Kill this guy. I'll just take. Oh, also, if you stand on them while they're transitioning, then it will damage to you. But there we go. That's vanguards. There's typically safe spots for the melee vanguard. So if he's on you here, if you're here for whatever reason, you can run here and you'll be safe spotted here. Let me make sure I got everything. Let me grab that overload. And if he's over here, with on you, he'll move up here, and then what you want to do is you want to step down here, diagonal to the crystal, so the crystal will be like here, and then he'll be like here, and then you can hit him, and then you can hit technically here as well, but you can't hit over here. So that's how you take essentially less damage at vanguards, and you want to take as least damage as possible from that room, because that room smacks hard. We'll go ahead and deposit our stuff. And open these chests. Such emergent gameplay. What we're looking for is these chests to turn green, yes. Because once these chests turn green, these are the ones that either have poison, like I just get hit with poison, not the actual poison condition, but actual poison, or bats. And so because we're not prepping, I just try to get as much food as possible. Ideally, if you're like speedrunning it, you just try to get through this as quickly as possible. I believe once your thieving level is 100 with the lockpick, I believe you have a 100% chance. So some speedrunners, I believe, like to bring a temporary boost to just boost them over 100 just to get through this room. But it's fine. You could just take a minute after Vanguard. And also, you want to get to around 39 or 40. Typically, you just need 30 to clear the room, but you get extra points for going over. I believe that's the limit for going over, so you can't just go up to like infinity. At least on a solo. And next is Vespula. Vespula, alright, yeah. If you don't have a Bofa or a Mega Rare, I wouldn't recommend it. I guess Bofa, T-Bow, or Shadow would be the main three. So you want to have these protect from melee from these guys because you don't want to touch them. You don't want them to touch you. Have these be your quick prayers. Step on this, and then once it hits 2, you want to just go like this and just move back and forth. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to overload like a dummy. Hopefully this doesn't use up too many of my resources. Alright, I feel like this is using more prayer pots than I'm used to. But, oh, there we go. Well, that was a bit of a disaster, but it worked. Oh. So next time you want to actually overload for that room. And just do the walk under method like I did there. You're probably going to die a couple of times, and it's not going to be fun, but then it gets easier. This is tightrope. Ideally, you just kill him. If you step, I found that these two spots are, I remember finding them on a YouTube video somewhere. Basically, with a 5-tick weapon, you want to trade 1 for 1. Otherwise, they'll do like 5 hits for every 4 hits that you do, or something like that. That's how math works out. So ideally, you want to take as least damage as possible, because again, we're not prepping. We have all these brews. And then, oh, actually, yeah, let me make sure I'm always prayer regen. And then the Deathly Rangers. These guys smack like a 31 through prayer, so you want to make sure that these are not within your line of sight of consistently. So I'll just hopefully that's it. Yep, there we go. And there's a trick where I think it's a Kirby skip where you can like use P-Nex to sort of trigger an invincibility frame, not frame, but you know, invincibility ticks to sort of like go across the tightrope while they're all attacking you and do all sorts of fancy stuff. But you know, you can just kill them. All right, next up is. Actually, I don't particularly need these two, so I'll just drop them. Next up, I don't need this, don't need this. That's a bit too many brews, so that's enough. The pickaxe we'll definitely need, and that's what we'll definitely need. Alright, up next is the Guardians. Guardians are pretty straightforward. You move in and out. Stab them, or rather smash them with crush. Main point here is you want to make sure you're not running out of run energy, so you move like this so that you're running for literally just like 1 tile, and depending on how high your agility level is, you can basically do this ad infinitum, or you know, until these guys die. You can technically gain points by trying to like rushing these guys into the passageway and like them hitting you, and so you prep a bunch of brews, but I don't think that's worth it unless you're like scaling super high, or you know, you're just very desperate because you have to spend like an hour or 2 specifically in this one area, and so I've deemed that not worthy of my time. So you want to just keep attacking like so. Alright, and that's done. Alright, next up is Vasa. This is, hopefully I get the skip right. So essentially, you get teleported into the middle of the room. Once you enter the room, you get teleported into the middle of the room. Then he blasts you with a bunch of damage, and then you have to heal up, or you quickly die, and then run around and whatnot. Hopefully I can skip all that first damage part by just doing this. Alright, think I got it. There's something about the whole tick system and like waiting to the 4th tick of the raid that it started that you actually go ahead and like go enter the room, and then that's a surefire way to do it. But if you want to run back and forth like a headless chicken, it should be fine. I'm not overloaded again, so I don't know why I tried to drink my prayer enhance. Oh, because it's almost out. We'll just send the specs there. And Vasa will never go to the same crystal again here. So you have essentially a guaranteed safe side. And then you just do these. You want to basically attack these glowing crystals because this is the sort of amount. He's not regenerating it currently, but he will regenerate it after about like 40 is it like a minute at those crystals in total. So you want to kill the crystals fast. And that is Vasa. Again, you don't want these guys to touch you because they kind of hit for like 15s or something. It gets kind of annoying. And they also could just like, yeah, spawn right on top of you. But we're past that. If you do prep, you could either, get some prep there, prep earlier in the raid. I like the guaranteed supplies from Ice Demon. That's typically enough to get me through a raid without having to grind for more. Mystics, typically people will bring I forget what it's called, the Salve Amulet Imbued, because that deals extra damage to undead, which these guys are. But I'll often forget to remove it for the next room, and so overall the damage averages out to not be worth it, but I imagine on like a CM it'll be worth it. You want to get these guys within melee distance so that they can sort of like try and punch you, and so that way you can sort of safe spot them on a corner here. It's not as important in normal modes, but in CMs where they have a lot higher HP and a lot higher damage potential, you want to do it. Also for CMs, you would also want to bring that Salve Amulet, but because this is normal mode, you can just kind of do whatever. Alright, next up is Mutadile's final normal room of the raid. Alright, so typically you can either stand back away from them and protect from range, or you can stand within melee distance and protect from melee. I like the protect from melee option better because he completely negates the melee, whereas range you're always taking partial hits. This does have disadvantages, as you'll be completely unprotected from his range attacks, and if he decides to like range phase you like Zora or whatever, then you kind of just take a bunch of damage. But that should be it. And now the big mama. You want to do your best to try and ticky these, I guess, but just don't die. And he's supposed to switch every 3, but sometimes he just goes ham. And so ideally you want to be after the first tree eat, you want to be in this little cubby here, and ideally he goes back. Please stop hitting me, please. Alright, so now he's sort of like trapped. So this line here, he's trying to go forward but he can't because he's blocked here, and he's only seeing me on this sort of like, was it southwest or southeast tile? I forget which one. Either way, that means less damage for us, and you know, we can kill him easily. Sometimes he will kind of just like safe spot himself somehow. I never quite understood why that happens, but it's of no consequence because he's dead. Alright. And see? No prep needed. We have all the supplies we need. Hopefully. So I'm going to deposit a few things. Deposit my helm and bow because we typically use the Dragon Hunter crossbow. And the helm is such a minimal damage increase that I'd prefer an extra brew anyways. We want to take these two. Lower the defense, and it's, you know, it's a dragon at the end of the raid, so you want to fight him with a fucking dragon weapon. Let's see. Oh yes, I need to free up 1 inventory space, so I'll do that at the end here. And so I typically go in with 6 aids and 3 revitalizations. I've done it with as little as 2 revitalizations, but you want to be better safe than sorry. And actually, because I have 3, I can actually take a chance to pre-pot here. Drink this up here. And every 15 seconds, your overload will replenish your stats. And, yep, now... Oh, I forgot to set myself to accurate. Now we're at all. So typically there's like a meta way to do it with the shadow. With a 4-tick weapon, you can just kind of, like the trident, you can hit from these 3 yellow spots here. This one, and you'll be dragged to this one, and then you hit from here as well. But because I'm using the shadow, which is 5-tick, there's a different, more complicated method, 12 to 1 or 8 to 0, depending on which side you're on, and it's super annoying to learn, so I just kind of just chill with this. This is about comparable to the Eye of Ayak DPS. I think Eye of Ayak, when you're, you know, fully doing the full 3-tick sweat method, it's a bit faster than this, but it's not faster by much, so I just do this for more chill raids. And so the name of the game of Olm is take as little damage as possible. And so you can run and rotate the head as much as you'd like. And that is why we brought this, the extended stamina potion. Because if you're not using your stamina potions on raids, you're not going to use them anywhere else. Alright, we're already stuck into 4 to 1. If you want to learn about 4 to 1, don't come to this video. I'm sure there's plenty of other videos out there that teach you 4 to 1. Just notice what I'm doing, how I'm moving. Oh. I was gonna say, I hope we're not in acid phase, but... There we go. Just survive the acid phase. One. Oh. Alright, this special is the worst. You just step on this guy. And then you want to make sure you're moving the head so that way you're not taking as much damage. Just avoid damage, hit, avoid damage, hit, avoid damage. Avoid the falling crystals. If you think you can time them, you can't. Just as soon as you see them, just dodge, and they hit in a sort of a 3x3 around you. Next up, oh, I probably shouldn't have hit there. I took an extra hit, not necessary, but now we're in cycle. Like I said, if you have a 4-tick like a trident, then this phase can, you would use these 3 yellow squares here. Otherwise, you can just do what I'm doing, or look up a proper tutorial on 12-0 and 8-1 and actually, you know, get faster own times. But this is phase 2. Almost done with this hand. Also, it's important for you to sort of know in the vague ballpark about the max hits of your weapons for the final flame phase. What was I gonna say? Oh. Hate that teleportation, stupid special. Now how to get back into 4-1? Good question. I think it's a 3rd one. And then maybe it's like this. Oh no, special's coming, right? Oh! Hate that I could foresee that. And then I'll just try and dodge the head turn. Why take a hit when it's unnecessary? Like so, but I couldn't really time that. And get an extra hit off. And he leaves me with one final present. Nice. That's phase 2. Let's go ahead and pick up this extra restore. Put that over here. For entering 4-1 on the final phase, it's kind of a neat trick you can do. I don't know if it works with any other weapons, but if you hit twice with Elder Maul, you're automatically in cycle. I don't know why it works like that. I'm not an old math magician, but it's nice. So you can start off with the melee hand. I normally started off with the mage hand first and then got it low and then worked on the melee hand. Oh my god, fucking poison. The poison doesn't hurt too bad. It's only when you like stand on it. And you want to keep the head rotating. So I think this is actually a way you can just, if you do like this, oh no, my max hit's definitely higher than a 41, so I don't want to kill that hand yet. Because this is the final phase, you want to kill the hands at the same time. Otherwise, if you kill one, then that one's just going to regenerate after a bit of time. And then you'll be sad, because then you'll have to do some more running around. Oh, I guess the Sang Staff with its buffs would also be good here, but we don't have the Sang Staffs. So, like so. Could also like control walk. Definitely helps save on run energy, but that's why I have the stamina doses. That's what we have the stamina doses for. You don't really typically use them anywhere else in PVM, so. Alright, that is dead. You see that bar there. Oh. And oh. And now you have to run around and avoid dying. Avoid getting the crystals dropped on your head while you deal with the head phase. So what I'm doing is 5 to, oh my god, the ruby procs are going off. Well, I was doing 5 to 1 improperly. Oh my god. Okay. Glad this is on the video. I've never proc this many times before. I'm hoping to be able to do this before. Oh, Christ on a bike. Oh, crystal special. I'm just gonna use my stamina dose. Of course, he chooses to use mage. So even with all those ruby bolt procs, I still... Oh! That's why sometimes it's nice to have a switch, but alas, it's not worth it. At least for the inventory space. And that is Chambers of Xerics. I may have forgotten to show what's in the rune pouch, but I think you definitely see why you need the watering can. Because I was on RCS, and I'm on RCS because I like the ghosts, because every successful hit on the hands help turn the head more reliably. And the more you turn the head, the less damage you take, the more damage you can deal. Fair enough. Pretty straightforward. That was my 585th normal mode. Trying to think if there was anything else. Plugins, you'll figure it out.